quite simply, the emerging market complex, as a broad complex, had run a long way and felt really quite sort of fully priced. So what we really did is sort of de-risked out of the broader emerging markets and moved into Asia. And we picked up a lot more sort of Asian high yield and Asian equity, so be more focused on the more robust side of the supply chains. We had some concerns, not so much about Turkey. We didn't see necessarily this coming, but from the sort of LATAM construct, so we moved more into Asia. And I think there's certain parts of the EM constructs as well, which may well struggle with the sort of post-COVID opening up and getting the economies back on their feet as well.
We've had some terrific news this morning from the AstraZeneca trial in the United States. It just seems to set the record straight for a lot of those European politicians who've taken a very political line on the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. And yet, as we look at the European reaction this morning, it is those stocks that you thought might benefit that are actually being sold down heavily again. What is the opportunity in this subgroup, those opening up stocks that ought to be reflecting more positively on the data?
Yeah, look, at a high level, we've talked about the sort of rotation and the opening up stocks versus those long-term growth and thematic stocks. But and you're right, the news about the efficacy is great, but ultimately it all comes down to sort of actual programs of inoculation. And what we're seeing here is you've got the UK and the US that are motoring on incredibly efficiently, but we've got this political administration and this sort of poor rollout in Europe. And the problem with that is that there's a high correlation between the inoculation or the vaccination rate and opening up of the real economy. So it's difficult to see in Europe how quickly they're going to be able to open up their economy. If anything, they're going the other way compared to the UK and the States. And that will have a real impact to the real economy. So, you know, employment and consumer demand and things like that. So we are cautious about the Euro bloc because it feels like it's going to be about 6 months behind the rest of the world, or at least the rest of the G10.